In this session, I would like to share with you the market and consumer insights that we have gathered in DuPont so that we could understand our consumers better, especially during the pandemic situation. And we hoped to partner with you in your product innovation journey. I will first cover how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted on consumers from health and consumption behavior perspective. Then I'll go deeper into the emerging trends and also covering senior health needs. We all may have already observed from our friends and family members the lifestyle changes that has happened because of COVID-19. And we cannot deny that COVID-19 pandemic has caused significant emotional impact and has resulted many changes in consumers' behavior and even their value perception in life. This can be supported by the consumer survey result we have gathered here, where we see close to 50% of the consumers they're worried or concerned over their physical health and fitness in Asia Pacific. This survey was done in the month of August, when most of the countries already in a recovery period. The statistic here shows that consumers in the Philippines, South Korea, India, China, and Singapore are the top 5 countries expressed their concern. Similar results are observed when we ask them about their health concerns, especially on mental well-being. Restricted movement, moving from working in office to working from home, has resulted in a different behaviors and life activities. For example, when we stay at home more often or longer period of time, we tend to snack more. And some of the consumers say that they have actually developed new hobbies like baking, or even they cook more at home. Or some of the younger consumers, they also told us that they play on video game online more often, or they started to chat with some strangers online just to spend some of their spare time. With the restricted movement, lack of physical activities, snack more at home, we have seen that the new phenomenon has happened, which is weight gain among consumers in this period of time. Quarantine 15 is now the new term, whereby consumers gain about 15 pounds during this period. And as a result, they are now looking for tips to eat healthier, tips to eat healthily in their daily meals. And at the same time, they also look for weight management solutions. Therefore, interruptions in daily activities and lifestyle changes has become a major issue. There are more than 60% of Southeast Asian consumers expressed concern on lifestyle changes, and though approximately 50% of them say that social restriction has affected them emotionally. And this is not any different from what has happened in China, where we see pandemic has heightened the health needs, where more than 70% of the surveyed consumers say that they will continue to increase physical activity and eat healthily just to improve their immune health. And there were more than 50% of them told us that they have actually increased expenses on sports and health-related food supplements as early as March, where pandemic was at the peak period. Generally, we observe that pandemic has also changed the value in life among Chinese consumers, where they now have reprioritized the life quality over material, and they treasure and value time spent with their families, and at the same time they have also become more aware of the need to protect environment and animal welfare. Lastly, we also see the economical impact on consumer spending, where there were more than 65% of the Chinese consumers said that they have a budget and they try to stick to it as much as possible. What I can conclude here is there is an obvious trend observed as an impact of the pandemic, that consumers are initially paying a lot of attention on protecting themselves and their families from infection. Hence, they focus more on strengthening immunity, nutrition enhancement, personal and household hygiene. And as the situation develops, consumers are now switching to a healthier lifestyle where preventive mindsets start to kick in. They want to be ready and they want to avoid any future health-related crises or any infections that they may have faced again. With that, we see a paradigm shift in consumer mindset and behaviors, where we could see the trends of consumers looking for more convenient and value for money products while they start to assess and moving into more sustainable lifestyle, and they want to start to stay healthier. And at the same time, they also start to look for more enjoyment in life, and they look to brand for reassurance. They look to brand to build the trust that they have between the brands and themselves and their value, and therefore to ensure brands deliver their promise is very important in this time. Brands could now take this as a starting point to evaluate the innovation platform, to align their product value, to offer convenient, value for money product, those that can improve consumers' health, at the same time also offer satisfaction and indulgent experiences for the consumer. Are we all now ready for the new normal? How do we identify the new opportunities with these emerging trends that drive new behaviors? Below are some of the emerging consumer trends that I would like to highlight with you today, which really I see this as a true innovation opportunities for us to meet these new consumption needs. First, we talk about preparedness mindset. Consumers are now investing more and more on their own and their family's health. They start to go for healthier choices, they read more on nutrition, they read more on how to live healthier, and all these lifestyle changes has actually created new daily activities such as working from home, studying at home, fitness at home, or even socializing at home. More time at home has created new needs. For example, in Japan, we see some new product launches that are targeting digital detox. They are positioned to improve eye health, mainly because there is a prolonged screen hours or screen time because of the digital devices usage. And at the same time, there are also some products communicate to help promoting good sitting posture while consumers work or studying at home. On another hand, we also see the changes in the dining patterns and choices with more in-home consumptions means that out-of-home consumption habit has evolved. This would be really a good opportunity to help consumers to improve convenience of home eating or even provide more recipe ideas to make home eating exciting. We also see consumers shop online more often than before. As high as 30% of Indonesian consumers actually shop for the first time online on grocery items during this pandemic. Now, making inroad into digital space and increased brand digital communication is another important aspect. We also talk about life priority changes, where family bonding time are being seen as precious and is very important for their life today. Would product that helps foster this bonding moment something that worth considering? Increased awareness of environment protection is another important emerging trend that I would like to emphasize here, as there are 48% of Indonesian consumers find plant-based diet is somewhat appealing, and there were 23% of them say it is very appealing. They are seeing plant-based diet as healthier choices, and at the same time, it is also friendly to our environment. Lastly, we must not forget the impact of the pandemic on our senior citizens. According to WHO, older adults are those who have underlying health conditions. They are actually at higher risk of developing severe forms of COVID-19. Hence, it is very important for us to protect our seniors and help them to stay healthy. Elderly are the more vulnerable group, as they are at a higher prevalence of hypertension, diabetes, that may lead to more complications from infections. On the other hand, social distancing may impact their mental well-being. Prolonged loneliness, reduced interactions with family may negatively impact their health too. Therefore, it is important to help this group of seniors by providing them delicious nutrition and at the same time also create activities that could encourage them to interact digitally with friends and family. This is especially true when we look at top health concerns among Indonesian consumers, where 40% of surveyed consumers, they are currently saying that they face joint and bone health issues, that this may have resulted in reduced mobility. At the same time, they also say that they have weak vision, they are facing high cholesterol problem, digestive, fatigue, high blood pressure. All these are the health issues that are being faced by our consumers aged 55 and above in Indonesia today. Corresponding to the health issues that they are facing, on the left chart, we also see that bone health, heart health, improved memory, and fatigue are the top aspects of health that the consumers would like to improve upon. And the good news here is more than 90% of the consumers in Indonesia believe the improved nutrition can help address health challenges due to aging. And there are as high as 70% of them perceive nutritional beverages with a mixture of soy and dairy are of high nutritional value and are able to help them improve their overall health status. With all these changes, consumers are now looking for products with health claims and positive nutrition in food and drinks more than ever before. In terms of products positioned for immune boosting, gut health and digestion, improved sleep quality, then more than half of surveyed consumers in Asia Pacific find it appealing. This is especially true among Indonesian, Thais, and Chinese consumers. For products with positive nutrition claims such as high protein, high in fiber, and contain probiotics, consumers in Southeast Asia said that they are very appealing. And what I would like to highlight here is there are more than a third of Indonesian consumers find high in fiber protein are very appealing for them. When we switch over to insights on home cooking, the key reasons why Indonesian consumers find home cooking appealing is because they are able to cater for their family members' needs and preferences when they cook and eat at home. And the fact that they are able to control over the type of ingredients they put into the meal during meal preparation is something they find it very enjoyable, and they feel safe, they feel secured because they know the origins and what is being put inside their meal. However, there's still a gap here because there are 52% of consumers, they still want home cooking to be more convenient, and there are 35% of them want it to be more affordable and value for money. This brings me to my next discussion point on how brands could take the opportunities to create value differentiation by offering real value to consumers. As value for money doesn't have to come from discounted price or low price, but from creating real value with additional features, additional health benefits, such as other benefits like convenience or enhanced eating experience by dialing up taste and texture, either for health benefits or indulgent purposes. In conclusion, understand the changes in consumers' needs due to the lifestyle changes is truly important for us to stay ahead of the curve in providing products that continue to delight our consumers. With that, I would like to bring to you some ideas how you could power through with DuPont to provide both positive and immune nutrition with a balance of taste and texture to satisfy consumers of different age groups. For example, functional energy drinking milk for kids, spoonable yogurt enriched with protein and probiotics for all family, high calcium milk for seniors, and complete nutrition with unique golden protein blends to improve muscle health. There's also a wide range of food solutions to meet aging nutrition needs that we could partner with you to address this underserved group. And lastly, our Danisco Planet will be with you in every step, from concept to commercialization, in providing delicious plant-based food and beverages to meet increased consumer demand. With that, I leave these thoughts with you, and thank you very much for your time.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity for the speak today. I will just utilize a couple minutes to quickly touch base on the key trends of probiotics, new development in science and application. The majority time of this session will be allocated to our dear guest speaker, Dr. Wang, on the probiotics on immune booster study sharing. In terms of the application development, the traditional probiotics application is mainly at yogurt and the baby food. While in recent years, let me minimize it. While in recent years, dietary supplement is also growing very fast. With the new application and manufacturing process development, nowadays the probiotics concepts are also penetrating into other food segments, such as juice and especially in snack industry. We see big players are launching probiotics containing snacks, such as Lotte launched the probiotics chocolate and biscuit, and Kellogg launched the cereal snack containing symbiotics, and Unilever also launched the probiotics ice cream. In terms of science development, we all know that the traditional most popular benefit of probiotics is digestive health. But in recent years, more and more new studies is focusing on the extension of health benefits that is beyond digestive health and trying to further understand the probiotics mechanism and impact on the overall health and wellness, and how it may influence on the chronic health condition. More study has been shown the probiotics benefits for immune health, mental health, metabolism health, and oral health. While in 2020, it has no doubt that the focus for the consumer has come back to immunity due for the pandemic. For ASEAN, you can see from the Google's trend, the interest of immunity has really surged in the past few months. Well, the good news is that probiotics, as one of the most studied immune ingredients, based on a simple PubMed search. And for example, there's more clinical studies for upper respiratory tract illness has been conducted on probiotics compared with vitamin C and D, zinc, elderberry, yeah. And another very interesting point is to really to note that clinically documented probiotics benefit for immune function are strain specific. So it means if it is, even if it is the same genus species, but if the strain is different, then the clinical study implication of the health benefit will be different. Last, let's have a quick look on how the successful brand communicate with their consumers on the immune health benefit. Famous brands like Anhui or Yakult, they try to educate the consumer with simple words, such as 70% of your immune system is actually located at your gut. And some of the very successful brands, they are highlighting the strain name, and they are literally quote the clinical study result to attract the consumers. Yeah, that's all for today's quick sharing. Thanks a lot.
Xin chào tất cả các quý vị, tôi là bác sĩ Chen Khanh, nghiên cứu viên chính của khoa vi chất dinh dưỡng, Viện Dinh dưỡng. Kính thưa các quý vị, hôm nay tôi sẽ xin trình bày về hiệu quả của lợi khuẩn trong việc cải thiện hệ miễn dịch chống viêm nhiễm đường hô hấp trên. Vậy cái bài trình bày của tôi sẽ nhằm trả lời các câu hỏi là lợi khuẩn hay còn gọi là probiotics có thể giúp tăng cường hệ miễn dịch phòng chống viêm nhiễm đường hô hấp trên như thế nào. Tập trung trả lời câu hỏi này, tôi sẽ có 3 cái nội dung chính là đáp ứng miễn dịch đối với viêm nhiễm đường hô hấp trên của cơ thể người, hiệu quả của lợi khuẩn Bifidobacterium lactic BL04 và các cái bằng chứng nghiên cứu của khoa học chứng minh cho các cái hiệu quả này. Đầu tiên tôi xin phép trình bày là viêm nhiễm đường hô hấp trên do virus có những đặc điểm gì. Virus gây viêm đường hô hấp trên thì có nhiều loại, trong đó rhinovirus chiếm 30 đến 50%, coronavirus chiếm 10 đến 15%, influenza chiếm 5 đến 15% và một số loại khác. Nhiễm virus thì gây ra điều chỉnh chức năng của hệ thống miễn dịch và thường theo sau là bội nhiễm của các loại vi khuẩn cơ hội. Và chúng ta có các loại vaccine để phòng chống influenza chẳng hạn, hoặc là một số chủng loại của coronavirus nhưng mà không phải là cho tất cả các loại virus. Trong khi đó thì kháng sinh không có tác dụng đối với các viêm nhiễm do virus. Hay nói cách khác là nhiễm virus thì không có thuốc điều trị đặc hiệu. Do vậy, cái việc cải thiện hệ thống miễn dịch là cái giải pháp tiềm năng và an toàn để làm giảm khả năng sử dụng kháng sinh ở các bệnh viêm nhiễm đường hô hấp trên. Ở đây là những thành phần và đặc tính của hệ thống miễn dịch của người. Thì chúng ta có thể thấy là hệ thống miễn dịch của người có 2 loại là miễn dịch bẩm sinh và miễn dịch thứ phát. Miễn dịch bẩm sinh chúng ta có 3 rào cản. Thứ nhất là da, các cái niêm mạc, các cái dịch tiết, ví dụ như là nước mắt hay là nước bọt, hoặc là cái hệ vi khuẩn của đường ruột. Cái rào cản thứ hai, bảo vệ thứ hai là các cái loại tế bào, các cái vật chất chống nhiễm khuẩn hoặc là các cái protein như là cytokine gây ra các phản ứng viêm và sốt. Đây là các cái phản ứng còn tự bảo vệ của cơ thể. Và cái lớp rào cản thứ ba thường là do miễn dịch thứ phát. Đấy là hệ thống bảo vệ bằng các tế bào, ví dụ như tế bào B, tế bào T hay là các cái miễn dịch dịch thể phòng chống lại các cái tác nhân gây bệnh. Hệ thống miễn dịch thì có 4 cái thành phần chính. Thứ nhất là các cái loại tế bào như là bạch cầu hạt, bạch cầu đơn nhân, tế bào lympho, hay là các loại cytokine là các cái protein điều chỉnh đáp ứng miễn dịch, thường là các phản ứng viêm, hay là các cái dịch thể như là interleukin, interferon hoặc là các yếu tố tăng trưởng. Các tế bào như là tế bào T thì có định hình đáp ứng miễn dịch và các cái cơ chế cân bằng xác định loại chức năng và hệ thống miễn dịch sử dụng. Đáp ứng miễn dịch khi virus xâm nhập thì có 3 giai đoạn. Giai đoạn thứ nhất là giai đoạn A. Giai đoạn A là giai đoạn mà các hạt virus xâm nhập qua lớp niêm mạc ở các tế bào biểu mô để vào bên trong tế bào. Giai đoạn thứ hai là giai đoạn mà virus đã xâm nhập vào bên trong tế bào và cái tế bào bắt đầu được kích thích để tiết ra các cái interferons hoặc là các cái chất chống viêm, các chất trung gian gây viêm, và cái interferon thì kích thích cơ chế kháng virus trong các tế bào xung quanh và các chất trung gian gây viêm thu hút các cái tế bào miễn dịch ở các vị trí xung quanh tới cái vị trí viêm. Và cái giai đoạn thứ 3 là cái giai đoạn mà bắt đầu đáp ứng miễn dịch chống lại virus. Trong đấy thì có tiết ra các nhiều cái chất trung gian gây viêm, gây sốt và các biểu mô thì bắt đầu sưng lên. Quan sát thấy thì chúng ta có thể thấy có cái triệu chứng như là nghẹt mũi, rồi là xuất tiết mũi, sổ mũi. Đấy là biểu hiện của cái viêm nhiễm đường hô hấp trên. Vai trò của hệ vi sinh vật trong hệ thống miễn dịch thì trước hết chúng ta phải nói đến đường tiêu hóa. Ngoài cái chức năng là hấp thu các chất dinh dưỡng thì đường tiêu hóa là một cái cơ quan miễn dịch tích cực, và lợi khuẩn hoạt động trên khả năng bảo vệ đường ruột bằng cách điều chỉnh hệ vi sinh vật và bằng cách thắt chặt các biểu mô và tạo ra cái yếu tố kháng khuẩn từ các tế bào biểu mô. Lợi khuẩn và các hợp chất điều hòa miễn dịch của chúng có ảnh hưởng đến chức năng của các tế bào miễn dịch bẩm sinh và miễn dịch thích ứng. Ví dụ như là bằng cách kích thích các thụ thể trên tế bào miễn dịch và do đó tăng cường các chức năng phòng thủ. Hiệu quả được chuyển giao thông qua hệ thống miễn dịch bẩm sinh và miễn dịch thích ứng thắp cơ thể, và kết quả là tăng cường bảo vệ cơ thể khỏi nhiễm trùng. Đây là các cái cơ chế mà lợi khuẩn và miễn dịch và cái miễn dịch bảo vệ như thế nào. Thì chúng ta có 9 cái tác dụng khác nhau, từ cái việc là chống vi khuẩn xâm nhập vào cái màng tế bào, và cũng như là các cái tế bào làm cho các tế bào giảm cái độ pH trong lồng ruột, ức chế sự phát triển của mầm bệnh, cũng như là liên kết với các tế bào biểu mô, và cao hơn nữa là kích thích toàn bộ hệ thống miễn dịch. Dựa trên các cái cơ chế như vậy thì người ta có các cái liệu pháp lợi khuẩn để duy trì đường hô hấp khỏe mạnh. Thường là các cái lợi khuẩn, ở đây chúng tôi quan tâm tới các lợi khuẩn ở cái dòng Bifidobacterium lactis
BL04,
và có các cái đặc tính cơ bản là chúng có thể sống sót trong đường tiêu hóa. Đây là một cái khả năng quan trọng, mà do đó mà nó có thể tương tác với cái hệ miễn dịch. Nó khác với các cái vi khuẩn khác hay là các virus có thể bị tiêu diệt bởi cái pH thấp ở trong cái đường tiêu hóa. Và do đó thì
BL04
có cái tác dụng kích thích miễn dịch, ảnh hưởng tới việc tiết cytokine của tế bào miễn dịch và đáp ứng miễn dịch. Ở đây là từ các nghiên cứu thử nghiệm lâm sàng và động vật. Về bằng chứng nghiên cứu khoa học thì chúng tôi có 2 cái nghiên cứu cộng đồng trên đối tượng người lớn khỏe mạnh. Nghiên cứu thứ nhất là nghiên cứu thử nghiệm lâm sàng có đối chứng mù kép do trường đại học Reed tiến hành ở Áo trên 229 người trưởng thành, và chia làm 2 nhóm, là nhóm sử dụng
BL04
và nhóm thứ hai là nhóm trứng sử dụng giả dược.
So the result in the picture A here show that the BL04 group, there was a 27% risk reduction for any upper respiratory tract infection episode compared to the placebo group. And the second picture here, the picture B, show that the interesting outcome was mean time between episode. The time between onset of upper respiratory tract inflammatory in the group using BL04 was 3.2 months compared to the placebo group. The time is 2.5 months. So we look at the second evidence is a study of effect of probiotic on innate inflammatory response and viral shedding in the experimental rhinovirus infection. The objective of this study is to assess the effect of injection of BL04 on the host response to rhinovirus infection in upper respiratory tract of human volunteer using the experimental rhinovirus challenge model. About the methods, the study material, the research used probiotic BL04 mixed with 1 gram of sucrose and the placebo sachet containing just 1 gram of sucrose. And this also randomized double-blind placebo control trial with 2 parallel arms. The challenge, the viral challenge is the rhinovirus A39, and about the virus isolation and serology, the nasal lavage specimens collected on day 0, and on the subject was tested by PCR for detection of unsuspected viral respiratory infections. And then the nasal lavage collected on study on day 1 to 5 and was cultured for rhinovirus by standard methods. And also study on measure the neutralizing antibody of rhinovirus A39. Here we look at the process of experimental rhinovirus as a challenge study in healthy adults. The subject in the BL04 was supplemented by probiotic for 28 days before the virus challenge on day 0, we call day 0. And the interleukin 8 and virus level from nasal wash and symptoms of common cold was measured from day 1 to day 5. Now we look at the result in the picture A. We see here the concentration of interleukin 8 was higher at day 0 after 4 weeks of BL04 supplementation. And the relative interleukin 8 response during infection was lower in BL04 groups over the infection time compared to the placebo groups. Now we see the effect of probiotic on nasal inflammatory response to rhinovirus. We see that the chemokin and the ligand 8 in the nasal lavish wash on the experimental days was higher in probiotic groups compared to the placebo groups. And these pictures show the effects of probiotics on the rhinovirus inflammatory response, including chemokin, ligand 10, interleukin 6 concentration, and the granulocyte stimulating factor in the nasal wash of the volunteers. About the efficacy of probiotic on the rhinovirus and antibody response, this is very interesting findings. The viral titers of the 28-day probiotic groups was significantly lower than the placebo groups, and at the same time, the viral shedding via nasal washes in the probiotic group was also significantly lower in that of the control group. This means that people who take the probiotic over time, if they have an upper respiratory tract infection caused by rhinovirus, their chances of transmitting virus to others are also lower than those who did not use probiotics. About the effect of probiotics on lower respiratory inflammation, the study measuring the exhale nitric oxide to determine lower respiratory tract inflammatory. This show significantly lower in the probiotic groups compared to that of placebo control group. And this effect of probiotic treatment on symptom score, and this is better in the probiotic groups compared to placebo group. Regarding the gastrointestinal adverse events, the research show the 13 occurrences in the 9 subjects, and it's only reported in the probiotic groups. So depend on those summaries, two research evidences, we can have a summaries of BL04 community and rhinovirus challenge study. The BL04 supplementation at research dose daily may have to improve respiratory health in healthy adults. And the second, the BL04 might enhance resistance to upper respiratory viral infections and the common cold by important function of mucosal innate immunity that inhibits the life cycle of rhinovirus in the nasal epithelium. And thus, about summarizing the benefits of probiotic solution to maintain healthy respiratory function is that the BL04 helps to maintain the body's natural immune defenses and healthy respiratory function, particularly reducing the risk of upper respiratory tract illness episodes in healthy, physically active adults. Thank you for your attention.
Current and future direction of sports nutrition science and wellness, and I will focus on the role of protein. So to address this topic, I will start with the latest trend in sports nutrition, then followed by introduction of the role of soy protein in sports nutrition, then summarize the presentation. So let's see what's the latest trend in sports nutrition. When we are talking about sports, actually, what's coming in mind is strength, speed, force, this kind of things. And all these things are about sports performance. You know, for performance, muscle is very important. So that's a reason actually nowadays many research and also many studies about how to increase muscle mass or the muscle function for sports people. So here you can see actually for different scientific body, for example, the one from International Society of Sports Nutrition, they recommend for building muscle mass and for maintaining muscle mass through a positive muscle protein balance, the daily protein intake should be 1.4 to 2.0 gram per kilogram body weight. And they also recommend for this protein, it should contain 700 to 3,000 milligram of branched-chain amino acid leucine. And also you can see this similar recommendation from, for example, from this article by Phillips and colleagues. It's that their daily protein intake should be 1.6 gram per kilogram body weight up to 2.2 gram per kilogram body weight. Actually, for sports nutrition, it's not only about athletes, because nowadays many people start to do sports because we know for muscle, it's very important for postprandial glucose disposal, and it's also very important for maintaining insulin sensitivity. It's also important for the resting energy expenditure. So all these things make muscle very important in metabolic health, also important for body weight control, and also for prevention of some chronic disease like obesity and type 2 diabetes. And we know nowadays in developed country, also many developing country, actually more and more people have metabolic syndrome and also have type 2 diabetes and obesity, this kind of so-called non-communicable chronic disease. For example, in China, every 10 adults, there are 2 with hypertension, and there are 4 with lipidemia, and also 1 for type 2 diabetes. So nowadays, this already becomes some kind of epidemic, and people want to improve health, want to prevent chronic disease. So they realize sports is a very important lifestyle factor to help to achieve this goal. That's a reason nowadays actually many people focus on sports exercise, and they also want to use sports nutrition to improve the effects. That's the reason nowadays when we are talking about sports nutrition, it's not only about professional athletes, it's also about the expanding population of so-called recreational sports people or lifestyle user. So we know muscle health is very important, but muscle is not. But muscle is not only about protein, and on the other way, it's also right. For protein, it's not also for muscle. We know for muscle, protein, especially the branched chain amino acid in the protein, is a building block of muscle mass. And also protein as one of the 3 macronutrients, it has been playing a very important role in our nutrition and health. That's a reason when we are talking about protein and muscle, yes, protein and amino acid can be our focus. But when we are talking about this in a broader context, for example, when we are looking into also the effect on non-communicable disease, also looking about, for example, the parameter like mortality, then we have to also look into the protein source, also the amino acid profile in the protein, especially the branched chain amino acid, on top of the amount of protein. That's why actually nowadays there are some controversy. For example, from this study I show you here, you can see it's being indicated the intake of a branched chain amino acid, especially leucine, actually is also related to higher risk for type 2 diabetes. And you can find out many this kind of literature. And here I collect some recent publication about the discussion of the association among protein intake and mortality and other health outcomes. For example, this one is about a Japanese cohort and meta-analysis. The author look into the association of animal and plant protein intake with all-cause and also cause-specific mortality. And this one, it's also meta-analysis. And more or less, actually, they are endpoints the same. They are focusing on mortality, and this one is based on 2 U.S. cohort study, also a meta-analysis. And this one is also meta-analysis, but focus on population from the Netherlands. So it's a study called the Rotterdam study. And this one also looking into the association of protein intake with mortality and some other factors. But this one also try to differentiate the effects on older population and younger population. Here, it's another latest publication. Actually, for all these studies, which I didn't go to details, for the total protein intake, in some study, maybe it's associated with a higher mortality, and in some other study, maybe in lower mortality, or in some study, no association. And for animal protein, it's associated with increased mortality. But with all this conflicting result existed in the study, one thing is for sure, that is plant protein intake is consistently associated with low mortality and other health benefits. We already know actually plant protein, there are many health benefits, and the mechanism can be complicated. Here I use this slide to show you actually one of the mechanism, maybe because of the beneficial interaction with gut microbiota. Gut microbiota is already a topic for today, so I will not go to detail. Briefly, nowadays, we realize in our human gut, there are about 100 trillion microorganisms with a gene pool of about 3 million. So it's it's from the number, also from the number of genes already higher than what we human beings have. So there are already many studies linked gut microbiota to health and disease. And this is understandable because, you know, actually for our diet is an important factor related to our health and disease. So in our diet, there is always some so-called non-digestible components which go to colon and get fermented there. And for the fermentation, actually it's a process describing how the gut microbiota using the substrate. So for different bacteria, for different substrate, the fermentation products can be different. So the effect on our human health is also different. Here you can see in general, for plant protein, it helps increase the good bacteria in our gut, and consequently increase the fermentation product like the short-chain fatty acid, which has been linked to improved gut barrier and have a good modulation effect on our immune system. And then for animal protein in general, the colon fermentation of animal protein will increase the bad bacteria and also increase the metabolite like the TMAO, which has been linked to increased risk of cardiovascular disease and also other disease like IBD. So for gut microbiota, I will come back to this point later. Next, I will show you. So we know muscle is important, and protein and amino acid are playing a role in muscle health. Then I also told you, okay, so for protein, it's not only about the amount, it's also about the quality, about the amino acid profile, and also about the sources, where it's from, it's plant or it's animal protein. Next, I will tell you why soil protein can play a special role in sports nutrition. So when we are talking about a protein, yes, one of the important things is about the quality. So for quality, nowadays, the globally recognized method for determining protein quality is the PD-CAS. So according to this method, the isolated soil protein and milk protein and egg white protein, they are all high quality complete protein. And isolated soil protein is the only plant protein which has a PD-CAS of 1. In addition, there is also other advantage. For example, low in fat, especially saturated fat, and cholesterol-free and lactose-free. So all these things tell us, yes, soil protein can be as good as animal protein regarding the PD-CAS. And for the effects of soil protein on muscle health, here I collect some study and summarize here. In short, whether it's in acute study or in long-term study, we find out that actually soil protein help to increase muscle mass. And if you look into the study, then it maybe the study period is short, is long, and if you also look into the dosage of the protein, it can be high or low. But all these studies tell us soil protein can be as good as whey protein regarding the effect on muscle health. So there are also studies comparing the effect of soy protein and whey protein on body weight management and body composition. For all this study, I will not go to detail. One thing I want to remind you is all these studies tell us, yes, they both are good at body weight control and improve lean body mass. But in addition to this, soy protein can also help to improve metabolic health. For example, reduce plasma glucose, plasma cholesterol, inhibit the inflammatory cytokine like the interleukin-6, and also help to improve insulin sensitivity. And here is also a summary about the health effect of soy protein on heart health. Due to its beneficial effect on blood lipids, blood pressure, and the effect on blood vessel function, also the atherosclerosis progression, all these things together make soy protein a unique protein source for heart health. So the US FDA already approved a health claim for soy protein. It said 25 grams of soy protein per day help to reduce the risk of heart disease. Actually, totally nowadays 13 countries already authorized the health claim either for reduction of cholesterol or improvement of heart health. And also for soy protein, it's also possible for you to use together with other protein, because we know for people, we have different preference for protein. Some like animal protein, some like plant, but it doesn't matter. When we put them together, it's also help to build up muscle mass. So there are a series of studies from animal study to clinical trial and in different population. I will not go to details. So come back to gut microbiota again. There is also study to show actually soy protein help to increase the diversity of gut microbiota, and we know diversity is a parameter for a better for beneficial effects. And I will not go to detail, just to show you the result here. So we know soy protein, yes, is as good as whey protein regarding the effect on muscle health. And in addition to that, there is also other health benefits, like the benefits for heart health, for metabolic health. And also, I just show you, there is also a study to show soy protein is doing a beneficial role on gut microbiota. And we know gut microbiota has been linked to health and disease, and of course also for muscle health. That's the reason nowadays there is also a hypothesis about this gut muscle axis. We know gut brain axis. It's popular, but now there may be also gut muscle axis. And in my opinion, now more and more studies indicate that yes, gut microbiota also may be playing an important role in sports nutrition. So maybe in the future, if we do more study to find out how gut microbiota is playing a role in sports nutrition, especially related to muscle health and related to soy protein, then I'm sure more information will help to develop a so-called personalized nutrition strategy for sports people, and also for common people who are conducting sports for a specific goal. That's all for me this time. Thank you.
Okay, thanks to moderators, Ms. CP, and all of speakers and participants. And we realize that in current condition, I think so, we have something a problem about the health during the COVID pandemic. And I think so, we have attention to health increasing rapidly, I think, including the use of spice. I think you know that what is the spice and herb is the different, I think. And then all of people said that the little germs, spice add the flavor to you. They are also good for your health. I think so. In the use of this spice has been carried out for a long time by our ASEAN, especially in Asia and the tropics area. People often wonder what the difference between herb and spice. What is the spice? Spice refers to seasoning made from dried seed or bark things. The spice generally originate in the Far East and tropical countries. And what is the herbs? Herbs refer to any plant with fleshy part. They are used in brewing tea and seasoning food or as the medicines. I think you know what the different towards spice and herbs. And then, why is spice added to food? Some people use the spice to food to make different flavorings, also enhance the flavor of food and possess antioxidant properties, and also preservatives and pungent spice to make it sweet. Even we eat the spice to make our bodies sweet and hot, I think. So, then also the possess strong antimicrobial properties and the colorants. How about the benefit of spice? And also in the other research, we can find the many functions about the spice. The first one is the act as antioxidant, also boosting immune system, I think, to make increase our system body and also anti-inflammatory properties. And then, as you know, antimicrobial, some compound of bioactive from the plant on also the spice to make our foods preserved, I think. And then we improve memory and brain function. And after that, fight nasal congestion and also improve digestion and regulation metabolism. Now, we have done one research after the pandemic COVID condition. The first question is, are you increasingly making drink from spice? And just 24% to say no, and 76% yes. And then after that, we try to ask, did you decide to diet during the COVID pandemic? And only 59% answered yes. In our research, what kind of spice are often made as drink during the pandemic COVID-19? More than 25% answer is the ginger, 44%, and then orange, 25.5%, and turmeric, 10%. How about the effect of spice for our body, especially now condition in the pandemic? Some state from the researcher said this: the cytokine released in small amount have an effect on the patient after they eat the spice. But this problem is, however, if the number of cytokine released in the lung is already large, it's declared as cytokine storm. Then it will make the lungs very dense and stiff. I think this is the problem. And in order to COVID-19. Now we continued about the function of the gingers. Gingers do one of the spice very famous things because they usually use as traditional people, also Indonesia and ASEAN countries, because they have the function as antioxidant capacity, improve immune system, also the inflammatory response. And the others research said they also have a function to prevent the heart disease and neurodegenerative disease, also cancer and aging process. We know the something like the bioactive compound, gingerol, I think they also function, they are antioxidative, and microglial cell and macrophage cell and the others the function. And a ginger of human health, one comprehensive study review of 109 randomized control trials. In the study, showed that only 43 clinical trials, or 39.4%, met the criterion having a high quality of evidence. It means not all of the randomized control trial showed to us they have evidence. How about the turmeric? Also, this spice is very often used, also the aid into our home as a seasoning things. And then the others meta-analysis study, we can find the RCTs suggesting a significant effect of curcumin, also lowering circulating T in alpha concentration. And then the meta-analysis did not find the curcumin to have a statistical significant effect and reducing of IBS, irritable bowel system symptom. So the other studies, the meta-analysis studies, saw the curcumins appear to be dissolved well chloride efficacies among the first patient. And other studies show that the turmeric or curcumin did not decrease several inflammatory markers in the patient with the coronary inflammatory disease. How about this? So many researchers to make a state and the publish of the research, we can find not all of the study to give us the evidence how to make is the inflammatory system, how to make to us the things good to a bowel system and the other species to cancers. How about the lemongrass? As you know, the one of the bioactive compound from lemongrass is the linalool oxide and epoxylinalool oxide. This is the major of component lemongrass, and we extract waters, we can find this bioactive component. Also, the others, I think, nerol and granule, which compound is the essential oils. How about the effect of this bioactive compound? Taken together, this data suggests the anti-inflammatory action is natural product. And try the others to treatment, something like to mix with the water extract of lemongrass, inhibit macrophage to reduce interleukin-1. And then I think the lemongrass essential oil inhibited by cytokine production in vitro. And then the lemongrass oil possesses significant anti-hyperlipidemic activity. And so many research we know that to make a proof this data things. And then garlic. How about the garlic? This is one special use also every day. Some people use is the materials should be eat, but a very bitter things. The first is anticoagulants. The garlic can be interact with the warfarin as antiplatelet agents. Also, we can find that the quinolone antibiotic and also hypoglycemic drug. And then garlic extract had inhibitory effect on ABV in the chicken embryo infection bronchitis virus is a coronavirus by Socha et al. 2016. We tried to find the meta-analysis research, the case control and cohort studies found the moderate garlic intake and to affect the digestive tract. And also in our team, how about this product to make the good our body healthy? Further meta-analysis found the incidence of stomachs consuming allium and vegetables. And also the meta-analysis of epidemiological studies consumption was associated with stomach cancer in Korea. And then we continue to the onions. We know that every day when you cut the onions often cause a stinging sensation in the eye and people nearby and often uncontrollable tears. As you know, this is caused by the release of a volatile liquid in propanethyl oxide and its aerosol stimulate the nerves in the eye. How about the function? This is a question. Are onions good for immune system? We try to define the function. The first is about the probiotic. Probiotic concerned about the fructose to stimulate the probiotic things in our ingestion. And then the function is anti-inflammatory and immune system, also anti-cancer in order to quercetin. This is also a good antioxidant, I think. And then detoxifying sulfur organosulfide and something like the also antioxidant glutathione to detoxifying pathways in our body. Another extract of onion also have been shown to have a hypoglycemic and hypolipidemic effect by normalizing their activities in order to hydroxymethylglutarate coenzyme reductase. And then the Raka acramiate oil, dietary onion powder could be improved in growth hematological parameters and so to make immune function of beluga tuberculosis. And other research showed the patient with diabetes safely consume slice of allium cepa and inhibiting sufficiency also and hypoglycemic activity. Now, the hypoglycemic and hypolipidemic action of allium cepa were associated with the antioxidant activity. Now, I want to show to you, this is my concern because the one of plant product in East Kalimantan, I think it's one of the original plant, but we also can find also in other regions in Asia, also in Malaysia and Thailand, maybe in Vietnam also, I think. And then this is the find of our research, especially make to when to consume twice daily of this product, made to make a total cholesterol fine of 53 milligram per deciliter. And then this is the FTR profile with the different drying methods. This is product. The closing and thank you. Without adequate nutrition, the immune system loses the momentum needed to produce an effective immune system. And also in the future, local food must be present rich and ready to serve, ready to cook, ready to eat, and ready to drink. Thank you. We back to Moderator Mrs. Siti Muslimat. Thank you very much.